Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to introduce many new elements and/or aspects to the Star Wars franchise that fans had never seen before on the big screen between many characters like Rey, Kylo, and others from the originals and the prequels by director J.J. Abrams. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. So one thing about Episode 9 that a lot of people are really excited about is, of course, the whole entire idea of exactly how JJ is going to utilize the characters of Rey and Kylo Ren and their interactions between each other, and how that's all going to be applied to the plot of this movie. And when we think about it like this, we also know that Episode 9 is going to be a very emotional film. It's going to be very action-packed. In fact, it's going to be an all-out war and a war to end all wars. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for Episode 9. Now, specifically, it's described that one of the scenes that were filmed during the month of January involved both Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver on set over in Cardington, where it's described that the crew had recreated the set of the corridors of Cloud City, where the two unnamed actors portrayed the roles of Darth Vader and a young Luke Skywalker fighting in the background, using lightsabers to recreate the moment from Empire Strikes Back, with different angles being portrayed. That is set to appear for the ending sequences during Rey and Kylo Ren's flash fights. It's said to be used as a continuation of what Rey went through in The Force Awakens before the environment crumbled around her. One of the scenes that were shot even includes a moment in which Adam Driver as Kylo Ren was watching Vader fight Luke during the flash fight, where the same was going on for Rey, where both Daisy and Adam had to act in a confused way as to what was going on during their flash fight. It's said that John Williams is set to record a score next week for the scene that will be used as a mix between Kylo's theme and the Imperial March during the fight as Vader and Luke are seen. So I want to go over a couple of parts about all of this. Now, we do know that Episode 9 is going to really embrace the idea of flash fights and force bonds and evolving that concept in this story by JJ, which was really first applied. It was pretty much a seed in The Force Awakens that began to grow in The Last Jedi by Rian Johnson, and now J.J. Abrams is taking it to its maximum potential by giving us these flash fights. So this scene in particular that was filmed during the month of January involved Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker in the background fighting against each other, while both Rey and Kylo Ren are also fighting against each other during their flash fight. So to me, it sounds like a very unique scene. It's going to be very interesting to see exactly how this is all going to be executed and how it's going to be used in motion when the fans get to go ahead and see this movie come December of 2019. Now, I'm not totally sure how it's going to work by introducing new angles of The Empire Strikes Back and showing us new angles of a young Luke Skywalker going up against Darth Vader in that sequence. Like I always say, we do know that J.J. Abrams has explained before in the past that this movie can be anywhere from 5 minutes to 4 hours. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to be 4 hours, but he was teasing that it could be somewhere in between that. And it sounds like this movie really is going to be the longest Star Wars film in history, and it would make a lot of sense because all these different flash fights and all these different flashbacks involving Luke Skywalker and stuff around those lines, as well as other elements added in, you can really only imagine how it really is going to be like the Avengers Endgame except in the Star Wars universe. So the other piece that I do want to go over is one of which included both Daisy Ridley and Adam Driver being instructed to act in a confused way, as they both paused during their lightsaber duel, watching the two unnamed actors portraying both Luke and Darth Vader during the events of Empire fighting against each other in the corridors of Cloud City. Now, I don't know if you guys knew this, but J.J. Abrams originally had this idea for The Force Awakens to continue the fight between both Luke and Vader in front of Rey, and that never made it to the final cut of that film, and that's being picked up in order to be used in Episode 9 in a different way. So he's basically extending that sequence and using it in a different way than fans would expect to see on the big screen. Now, the last piece that I really want to go over is how this film is really going to heavily rely on lightsaber duels, space battles, and land battles. At the end of the day, guys, you know, what makes a Star Wars movie, aside from the quest by the heroes and the villains, it's all about the iconic duels, like the lightsaber battles, the space sequences, the land battles, something that I feel was just a little I guess you could say, watered down in The Last Jedi, because the space battle in that film just did not meet expectations. Neither did the lightsaber duel between both Kylo and Rey. So this is JJ's, golden shot here at a chance to really make a great Star Wars film that's really going to stand on its own and can really be considered the best of the Star Wars sequel trilogy, to the point where a lot of fans are going to talk about it for years on end until the new Star Wars trilogy arrives in the years to come. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.